What a beautiful day to take a first look at the brand new 2018 Porsche Panamera Sports Turismo. But before we get started, let's take a look at how much these are going to run us here in the United States. You have 4 models to choose from. You have the Panamera 4, and that's going to start out at $96,200. You have the 4E, the electric hybrid, that runs $104,000. Then you can step up to the 4S, and that Sport Edition will run you $109,200. And then, top of the line turbo, a mere $154,000 plus for whatever options you want to add to the package. Pocket change. So how much bang for your buck do you get? Well, with the Panamera 4, you're looking at a 3-liter single-turbo V6 engine that will generate 330 horsepower, 331 pound-feet of torque. But if you go up to the 4E, the electric hybrid, now you're going to get a 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6 engine with the electric motor, and that'll generate 462 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. Go up to the 4S, you have the same 2.9-liter V6, but without the electric motor, you're looking at 440 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque. But then you step into the turbo with the 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine, and you have 550 horsepower, 567 wonderful pound-feet of torque. And all of these are mated to the 8-speed PDK automatic transmission with paddle shifters and the available Sport launch mode. Plus, you have Porsche's traction management system, which will give you their intelligent all-wheel drive system. You also have an adaptive 3-chamber air suspension to give you a normal ride, Sport mode, and a lower Sport Plus ride as well. Plus, you also have the dynamic chassis control system with torque vectoring and 4D chassis control, 4 dimensions, so that it's gonna absolutely just hug the road in any driving condition to give you amazing performance. To also help enhance the performance, you have staggered rim sizes with a 275/35 ZR rated 21-inch rim in the front, and in the back a 315/30 ZR21. And that ZR signifies it's good for a minimum 149 miles plus per hour. It's easy to see that Porsche's really pulled out all the stops with their unique exterior design in this next generation Panamera. You have some similarities from the previous editions though. You do have your 4-point Porsche daytime running lights, as well as having their Porsche dynamic lighting system. You even have a crossbar light here. Active grille system opens up at lower speeds, allows more air to cool the engine, shuts down at higher speeds for better aerodynamics and performance. Yet when you look down the side of the vehicle, this is where the Tourismo really stands out with its extended roof line. And if you have the chance to get the panoramic moonroof to go with it, it's absolutely stunning. But what everyone's talking about is Porsche's active aerodynamics rear spoiler, which will raise and lower to a 3-position setting based upon your driving needs. At rest position, it sits down about 7 degrees. As you speed up to a sport mode, it'll raise 1 degree. And then at top Sport Plus, it'll jump up 26 degrees, adding an additional 110 pounds of downward force, really giving this a tremendous amount of stability at high speeds. But of course you do have a button in your center console where you can raise and lower it manually as well. The choice is yours. In the rear of the vehicle, of course, you have the 3D rear taillights. On the turbo, the monster quad exhaust down there, rear diffuser, plus rear wiper system. Hey. And you could open up the rear cargo area with a push of a button, or if you had your hands-free release, you could do it that way as well. You have a little bit lower load area than you do the regular Panamera. Plus you have additional ways you can configure your cargo in the back. You have a 12-volt power source back here. Available rear cargo cover for additional privacy. Of course, your 18 cubic feet of cargo space with the back seat up. And if you want the back seats down, you have a 40-20-40 split folding rear seat. All you gotta do is pull the button, one side and the next, and there you have it. Lots of useful cargo space. Well, for the first time, Porsche's given us a 5-seat Panamera. Now, this is their 4+1 seating configuration back here, and this is designed for, well, you know, a cup holders, armrests, things like that. But in a pinch, if you want to put somebody back here, they've got the seat belt. They've got reasonable headroom, especially with the moonroof. And the center console's been lowered just a little bit, so it's not terribly inconvenient for even a grown adult like myself. But I prefer to save this spot for my special friends. Wouldn't you? Hey, can you see okay? You comfortable? Are you ready? Zero to 60 in 3.6 seconds, and you can feel it. It is in your gut. And that was in normal. Let's do it in Sport Plus. What an absolutely gorgeous day to be cruising around town in a 2018 Porsche Sport Turismo. I wish you could be here. This is a very nice around town cruiser, and it has to be absolutely pristine on the highway. The control is incredible. All-wheel drive, available rear axle steering, traction control, torque vectoring, individual 4-dimension chassis control, all of that at your disposal. Now we can go to sport mode if you want to adjust the suspension, the transmission, throttle response, Sport Plus even more, as well as setting up your own individual, which I guess it's to each their own. We have the optional Sport Chrono package with the Sport Launch button here, and I wouldn't use this around here anytime. But it is nice to have. And of course, this is Porsche's advanced cockpit control and display with the haptic touch feel over here around your PDK transmission. This goes well with the 12.3-inch screen. It's a touch screen, of course. We can choose our drive modes: normal, sport, sport plus, individual. I have the start-stop function right here. Sport exhaust, let's put that on. And I can control manually my spoiler right here, should I so desire. And I'm going to take off the start-stop system here. Very nice control here. Let's come up this way. Hey, there's another Porsche Panamera 4. Huh, very nice. You do have your 8-speed automatic PDK transmission, and you have your electronic brake, and of course your keyless entry, and on the left your keyless start here with the traditional Porsche grip and sort of nobulation. That's right, I was talking about the 12.3-inch screen here, where you have your home setting, you have your navigation right here. It's all touch control. You have your media, you have your phone, of course, that's hooked up. You have your car settings, as we mentioned earlier, and climate control for your air conditioning. You have a live vent up on top as well as right here. The center console swoops right down. You have your haptic controls here, temperature controls for your air conditioning on either side. Obviously, your power control for your stereo system, as well as the adjustments for your suspension system. Heated seats, ventilated seats, defroster systems, they're all just laid out right here. And of course, you have your replicated buttons with the touchscreen here and the haptics, button here. There's your source, media, home, download your apps, check on your fuel prices, even the weather. I can tell you what the weather is. It's sunny and cool. Your phone system, and of course your navigation. Just so you know, as far as stereo systems are concerned, the base models have 150 watts of power. When you step up to the turbo, you get the Bose stereo system with 14 speakers and 710 watts of power. But there's also the Burmeister option for only $5,940, I do believe it is, for 1,445 amazing watts of power, plus a 400-watt subwoofer in this machine. That has to be mind-boggling. You can definitely hear and appreciate the sport exhaust. We can put it in sport mode, tighten things up a little bit. That's one of the nice things about having the adjustments that are available, the different drive modes, even the road height. I can adjust a lift. We can get higher, should we so desire. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I can go to medium. And we can go low. That'll go with the sport mode quite nicely. Thank you, Mr. Air Suspension. There's nothing like the hazards of driving in the city. Have to watch out for these pedestrians. They are everywhere. Cool buildings around here, though. You ought to come down. Just so you know, we're just cruising through Crystal City, down in Northern Virginia. FYI, for those of you that are interested. Anyways, I was saying you have your center analog tachometer, which is great. Plus on either side, you have your TFT, multimedia interface displays. And right now it's taking the navigation, letting me see the city on the right. And of course, your other controls here. I can scroll through different settings at my leisure. And you are really sitting in the lap of luxury here. This is ultra premium interior materials, as you would expect nothing less from a Porsche. Just pure harmony. Everything just flows into the dash and around the driver and passengers. Sport style seatings really give you a lot of comfort, especially with their adjustability. You have 8-way adjustables, you have 14-way adjustables, even 18-way adjustables available. Plus, you have the massaging seats that are available, as well as heated and ventilated seats. You have a lot of greenhouse around you, a lot of glass, especially on top with the optional panoramic moonroof with 2 panels there. One obviously for the passenger and driver up front, and the rear passengers in the back, all of which is controllable. I can open up the screen here, allow a little more light inside, and I can do it for the people in the back as well. Of course, you have all your usual safety technology, lane keep assist, blind spot detection, backup sensors, backup cameras with optional jet washer, as well as your parking assist, your adaptive cruise control, GPS activated navigation, gives you even more insight into where the road conditions are. Airbags, of course, and all of the usual structural protection that you'd expect in a Porsche. An incredible turning. You ready? Just for a second. The throttle response is amazing. Can you imagine what it would be like in the hybrid? Even more torque? Oh, man. I gotta go. I'm sorry. Well, one thing's for certain. Your kids will never be late to school if they're riding in a Sport Tourismo. I love the way it hugs the road. Now, this is a little bit heavier than the standard Panamera. It runs around 4,100 pounds for the base model, up to 4,800 pounds for the hybrid. But you can appreciate the fact of Porsche's intelligent aluminum architecture, the lightweight construction, yet a more rigid design. Very, very nice to give it more maneuverability. And if you have your rear axle steering as well, even better control, especially at lower speeds. It'll have the rear wheels go opposite of the front, and then at higher speeds, they'll sync up together. Alrighty, what we're gonna do is a traditional U-turn to check the turning radius of this particular vehicle, which is very nice. I think from a practical standpoint, I would prefer to have the separate chairs in the back, the 8-way adjustable ones versus the 4+1 seating. But from a family point of view, if you are buying this magnificent machine for the family, then yeah, squeeze a little Bobo in the middle back there and you should be fine. This just glides down the road so sweetly, so nicely. And you can feel the control and appreciate the exhilaration of the acceleration. It is pure Porsche passion. If you appreciate the performance and power of a Porsche and still want to bring the family along, then this is probably the right ride for you. While we're sitting here at this endless red light, I thought I'd do a little plug for Porsche Water. Porsche Water. Can you see this okay? Can you see this okay? Porsche Water. I understand if you buy a brand new Sport Turismo, you get a lifetime supply of Porsche Water, which if you drink it, does amazing things. It has every vitamin you ever need. It has nutrients. You can live on this and nothing else, and you'll even grow taller, I understand. Okay, all of that was bogus, and you don't get a lifetime supply of water, but I wonder if it will make you taller.